Well, let's talk a little bit. We'll continue to talk about that with Rebecca Wilcox, who's Esther Ronson's daughter, in just a second. But first of all, I want to talk to Rupert Bell, who's Talk's royal correspondent. And Rupert, there's quite a lot happening here, including a very big ethical debate from the Princess of Wales, from Kate, who says that it is not our place to judge or criticise addicts, suggesting people should offer a shoulder to cry on instead. She's issued a written message for Addiction Awareness Week. There are an awful lot of people who will perhaps people who've experienced addicts stealing from them or abusing their hospitality or abusing their generosity, who might say, hold on a second, Kate, here, we do need to be understanding of addicts, but there has to be a limit as well. We can judge them, actually.
Well, and it's a difficult debate, and particularly when you look at, when addicts, suddenly you find within your family and the problems that can create. And, there are many tales, of the way addicts want to get money out of family members and everything that creates a huge difficulty. But I think we have to look at the intention of what she is saying, which is we need to make sure we're there to help. Because clearly, if someone is an addict of any description, they've got themselves into a complicated scenario of whatever situation. And then, unfortunately, it often leads to these nasty situations that develop. So I think we're looking at the cause, perhaps, and try and help. But it's never an easy one, because an addict might actually, not just in anything, whether it be alcoholic, drugs, sometimes it's a long time before they actually realise they have a problem and seek the help. And once they get the help, then you've got to be on hand to ease them through. And I think that's what the Princess of Wales is trying to imply through her charitable work. She's obviously getting back to work in a sort of behind the scenes, and this is some manifestation of that. And I think no one's going to, again, decry the intention of what she's saying, that we need to help people. But we all know that, unfortunately, addicts can create a huge series of problems on the extended family, other people around, stealing, whatever, as you say. It's a very complicated subject, but I think she's trying to say, right, once you can get an addict into a position to give them help, then we've got to make sure we're there for them in a proper way.
Let's talk about Harry and Meghan just for a second, because the Duke of Sussex has been embroiled in a row over his right to automatic police protection, really, since leaving the UK. There are thoughts that he could cite the Taylor Swift police escort in his appeal. And also, his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, has asked officials for 3 more months to get her lifestyle brand up and running. Tell us about these two stories.
Well, we'll start with the Taylor Swift one, which, of course, has caused the Labour government a few problems about tickets and whatever would go to those concerts, and how Taylor Swift's mother sort of said we need protection. And this comes off the back of, remember, the Taylor Swift concerts were cancelled, if I'm not mistaken, in Austria, so security issues.
Right.
And then coming to this country, obviously it was the number of concerts she played. There were a huge economic boost to London during that time. So there was a lot of pressure on to make sure that these concerts went ahead because of the money that they would generate in terms of the spin-offs and obviously people coming to London. So there was a lot of, I suppose, political pressure on the Metropolitan Police to ensure that these concerts went ahead. So what Harry is saying, look, you can do it for Taylor Swift, is almost reading between the lines. So why can't you do it for me when I am actually a member of the royal family? You can afford her full-scale protection. But there is a big difference. Harry is no longer a working member of the royal. When he comes here, he will always have a level of protection. There's never any, he's not going to be left completely high and dry. What he wants is the sort of full bells and the full hurrah in terms of his security, saying that he is a threat, and every member of the royal family, I'm sure, is a potential victim. So they need some level of security. But he's now saying, well, if you've done it for Taylor Swift, then why can't you do it for me?
And we'll see if he gets that. Just briefly on Meghan as well, Rupert, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, the American Riviera Orchard is coming under problems trying to get it trademarked. American Riviera, I believe, is the area of Santa Barbara. The American people say you can't actually name a company after it or get trademarked out what is deemed an area. So this is a further problem if she tries to launch her lifestyle brand, which at the moment has basically only produced 16 jars of strawberry jam.
Rupert, thank you very much indeed. I really, there should be no further delay to this. I want a jar of that strawberry jam, and perhaps I could give it as a Christmas present to Rupert Bell. I'm sure it would taste a lot sweeter than many of the feelings quite a few people have towards the Duchess of Sussex. Rupert, thank you. Rupert Bell.